Hello and welcome to another anime girl lore video, and after nearly 700 videos, it is about time that we talk about this topic in particular. But before we're going to do so, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel. Furthermore, I say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. Furthermore, please take a look at my video about Catgirls. It's linked down in the video description. Now with that said, let's dive into the topic at hand and ask ourselves, who is this and why is she so special? Well, you see, back before Fire Emblem literally popularized, if not even established, the trope of a rather young, half-naked girl being available to have children of the main character of the games, Fire Emblem had some of the best written kids and young adults in anime and anime games ever. Let me give you my best example right here. Child Empress Zanaki was 10 years old in the first part of Fire Emblem's most epic saga to this date, and 13 in the second part. She was charged as the Empress and High Priestess of the theocracy of Benion with keeping the peace of the goddess of Ashera. She leads a theocracy whose might was unmatched on the continent. But the inner circle of its great power had fallen into corruption and lawlessness. Decadence was a question of prestige, and slavery was a way of improving one's social standing. What makes it even worse is that one of these senators was after one of these Serenes, Heron-human hybrids that were presumably wiped out in a genocide years ago because they were blamed for the death of Zanaki's mother, the former Empress of Benion. But in truth, a corrupt gaggle of senators were responsible for the regicide, and they blamed it on the Serenes. Now, with a presumably naive child empress on the throne, the senators believed themselves to be able to do as they please, and Zanaki did play the part of a child empress. She pretended to be very naive and very easy to be manipulated, but in truth she had a keen mind, and due to circumstances she was forced to grow up to improve herself in order to go toe-to-toe in the political arena with the murderers of her mother. Therefore she forced herself to play the part of an unassuming child in order to not get targeted by the very senators that have already proven to be willing and able to kill an established regent by killing her mother. That's why, when Ainz and his mercenaries came along, she employed them in order to go after one of the senators for trying to enslave one of the last Serenes, because Zanaki could not trust any of her own servants simply because of corruption and power politics. That's how she finally got the upper hand at court. And as a reward, Ainz and the princess his mercenaries were escorting received soldiers, weapons and supplies to retake occupied Crimea. Wait, what? Anyway, this is how you write good politics in video games. And as the first apostle of Ashera, the deity of Benion, Empress Zanaki is also a very powerful caster and has a unique fire spell empowered by a unique tome. And finally, Empress Zanaki dresses like you would expect of a child empress, in clothes that are very regal, elegant, and appropriate for a high priestess and a ruler. But since Zanaki is still young, the clothing was still too big. It didn't fit her small frame. Thus even her clothes portray the theme of a girl that had to grow up quickly in order to not being killed, or at least reduced to nothing more than a figurehead by a corrupt bunch of politicians. So in conclusion, she's a very smart, complex character that has to navigate treacherous political affairs, plots and intrigues in order to restore the theocracy to its former glory. And spoiler alert, she succeeds. And there's way more lore to her character, her sister, and Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn in general. But my point is the following: with the focus of more or less, let's call it adult content of another kind, many characters especially young ones, have lost a lot of depth and complexity in exchange for being now fan-serviceable. And to my knowledge, the newer iterations of Fire Emblem enables dating between brother and sister, as well as quite literally being able to pet your groom, and presumably groom your pet. I miss the old Fire Emblem dialogues that had a message beyond just blatant fanservice. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against fanservice in general. I enjoy Mia's ties as much as the next guy, and if I have to look at the backside of my characters from Monster Hunter World for hundreds of hours, then I very much appreciate a, let's put it this way, lighter, more midriff presenting approach to armor that is supposed to keep you safe from villains, dragons, and quite literally Son Goku. Kirin armor aside though, this kind of fanservice is A, anti-optional, and B, this kind of fanservice also doesn't replace important game mechanics or dialogue, which it sadly does in Fire Emblem's more recent iterations. Recent as in a decade ago. Boy, I'm getting old. Now anyway, and finally before I end this video, I also know that most of this kind of, let's call it, Dragon Girl themed fanservice is also aimed at a teenage audience, at an audience of similar age. But still, fanservice can and has been done without taking away important dialogue, characterization, and parts of the entire story. So plot does not necessarily have to replace plot. And that's pretty much it. Please let me know your opinions on the topic, and please be respectful. And with all of that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, Bad Girl Ye, Bad Boto 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Love Razor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomir, Cunic Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.